Hello everyone and welcome back to Southern Wealth. I hope you're enjoying the rest of the week, that you have some good plans for the weekend, and that spend some time with the family, with friends. I maybe go out for drinks tonight, so being a bit excited about it. It's also nice to have some fun. Not everything is economy, finance, money, all of these things. In any case, if you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. The channel greatly appreciates, and so myself. First of all, next week we'll restart the live streams on Wednesday, and again we should be moving now into a more full-time schedule. Now let's get to it quickly, don't lose any time. What are we seeing today? Stocks, at least at the moment, are all on the green, the big major indices. The Russell continues to slightly outperform all the others, particularly because it underperformed during the previous period. Gold is actually below 2,000. Now, if we do close the week below 2,000, actually there is a pretty nasty reversal. I mean, that would be, really not great for gold. Yes, I do understand we are putting in and higher highs and lower lows, but it's a very nasty reversal, talking about hundreds of dollars. I mean, you're talking about more than $135 in less than a week. I mean, it looks like really bad. So let's see where we end there. We got the job reports today, slightly better than expected. Tends to be, businesses are preparing for the holiday season, in which, if you actually look at the types of jobs created, you still have a big percentage being government workers, which are non-productive workers. And this showcases you how also the government cooks the books nowadays. So, for example, if you actually look into the 1930s, 1940s, government jobs were not counted as part of the workforce. Why? Because they're not productive in nature. That's it. Government is not productive. They don't produce anything for the economy, so the jobs created in that sector were also considered non-productive. We nowadays consider it, which, in my view, it's a way of cooking the books. In any case, job reports came a bit better than expected. We are now seeing numbers way below what they used to be, even though we are slightly outperforming. Once again, a lot of it under hospitality, part-time jobs, things that fluctuate quite a bit. Doesn't matter. What I've said before still stands today. It matters how the market views it. Very simple. What I think, what I believe, what I think is the underlying strength or weakness, that is besides the point here. What matters is how does the market react. Bond yields shoot up, bond prices shoot down, gold goes under pressure, stocks were doing much better in the pre-market, came down, but they are still in the green. Crypto follows its own cycle, as I mentioned before, and kind of operate a bit on the sidelines from all this activity. See, when people say, oh, crypto is correlated, crypto is not correlated, no. Crypto has its own cycle, and depending where the stock market is, sometimes they appear to be correlated, sometimes they appear to be inversely correlated. One thing to me is clear is, actually, they really are not correlated, because you cannot have something that is correlated with the Nasdaq during 3 months and then inversely correlated with the Nasdaq in the next 3 months. Correlated with risk of assets like gold in a period, inversely correlated in other. No, that doesn't work. For example, gold, silver, you can have couple of days where one is green, the other one is red. But if you look at it like from a 6, 12, 18 months, they tend to move in the same direction. Same goes for all the commodities, the industrial ones, oil and gas. Sometimes gas is going lower, oil is going up, but then eventually they go into the same direction for extended periods of time. While crypto just seems to be moving on a 4-year cycle, and that's about it. So there's no big surprise around it. Now, next week, what we have? We have, everyone expects the Fed to hold rates. I do think they are not going to increase rates. I do think they only do things that the market expects. So I would be extreme, like you I would be completely wrong if they would raise or cut rates. I don't think that they're going to do either of those. I do think the CPI will come lower. Will it come lower than expected? Not sure, but lower overall. The Eurozone inflation, because again, the dynamics of the markets are quite similar from Western Europe to the US. I mean, yes, there are differences, but it's not like one is shooting through the roof and the other one is plummeting. There's always, the overall trend is similar, okay? Eurozone inflation was expected at 2.8%, and it is now 2.4%. There was someone in the comments that thought that I was that I was Portuguese, so I actually checked the Portuguese inflation numbers, which are now below 2%. I think in the last month, 1.7 or 1.6. I think the Spanish one is around 3. Overall, the Eurozone is around 2.4, so it's moving towards the 2% level. What does that mean? Look, we are closing in to the top side of the channel of the S&P 500. I do think we're still going to have some resistance here. I don't think we're going to just blow through it. However, we are starting to bounce our heads too many times on the 4,600 level. So in my opinion, well, you know, my overall prediction is new all-time highs by Q1 2024, Nasdaq 100, S&P and Dow Jones. So in that sense, we are going to move into that direction. I just don't think, I think we're probably going to see some fighting back and forth, and then having a very strong week in which we put in another level higher. That's my expectation. When it comes to crypto, Bitcoin's very close to 44,000. Ethereum had a big run to, and it's sitting around 2,350, 2,325, around that mark. Basically, I do, when I mentioned this, because apparently it was not very clear, I did say before the halving here, because people front run the halving, Bitcoin in Q4 of that year tends to outperform Ethereum. So Ethereum had a very good run now. Why? Because we are in December. So what are people doing? Since everyone knows that, or the big wallets know that Bitcoin does very well in the recovery year, as it has done, and Ethereum does very well in the first couple of months of the year of the halving, people are buying Ethereum now so they can front run the big push around January, February. And then people are also buying altcoins because they know after Ethereum pumps, altcoins are the ones that pump later. Now, what I mean by outperformance is actually Ethereum has done very well this year, same as Bitcoin, but if you look at the last 6 months, the Bitcoin to Ethereum chart, Bitcoin has gained 20% on Ethereum, or Ethereum has crashed 20% versus Bitcoin, depending on how you want to look at it. That's my point. Now, versus the dollar, versus the euro, versus the other currencies, they are doing very well. I think Bitcoin is on pace to raise more than 100% this year, which is normal. Sad for all the people that sold their Bitcoin and their crypto, listening to people like Peter Schiff. Now, going into my personal coins, the ones that you know that I like, the Richard Heart ecosystem, Chainlink, talk about Cardano as well. I'm still looking at a few of those, so I'll keep you posted on those in the future. To me, they are still too early. Chainlink has done a 300% or so in the past few months. In my opinion, it will overtake the XRP, everybody's XRP's roll prediction. We'll see. They do interchain operability, which is very key for all these big players. They want chains that can talk to each other. They don't want big messes around different blockchains. That's not for the players which are coming in. We'll see if Chainlink will succeed or not. I don't particularly like the team behind it or the founders. However, I do think the project is going to do very well. Now, in the case of the Richard Heart ecosystem coins, one thing that I like to see is that we had a moment a few months ago of complete disbelief in the system, which told me, okay, we are very close to the bottom, and I started to buy bigger clips. Then Pulsechain, Pulsex start going up 200, 300%, basically outperforming the other altcoins, and everybody got super excited. And I said, what I would like to see is one big drawdown before we actually move higher. So I want people desperate again. Once again, we got, about last week, start to get even prominent ex-influencers and Richard Hart ecosystem players, particularly, aggravated, which to me is a very good sign. See, but the thing is, the signs of desperation were now about between 50 to 100% higher than the previous one. So we are actually putting a second bottom, and nobody paid much attention. See, everybody was saying, oh my God, this coin started running, I missed my shot, now I cannot buy. Of course, as soon as I saw that big drawdown coming down, I've been buying again. But you see, people, when they actually see after the runs, I should have bought, blah, 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 this is how they talk. The truth is, if they give you a chance to buy again, it feels bad to buy. It feels wrong. It feels dirty, so you don't do it, and then you live to regret it once again. So I do expect to start seeing some pumps coming from the Richard Hart ecosystem, maybe starting next week or a bit later towards the month. Point being, once again, people don't like to buy the depression. People don't like to buy the nastiness. People don't like to buy the real deep red candles. They like to buy the green candles. What they fail to see, this is very important, is what matters is price. The story, the narrative, follows the color of the candles. So if the chart is going up, they will list you a list of stories, of narratives of why the price is going up. If it's going down, they do the same thing. Even the news do this. If the stock market opens lower, then investors are concerned about something. All of a sudden, if you have a midday reversal, all of a sudden, the investors are now hopeful for something else. My point being, the news follow the charts. The narratives follow the charts, not the other way around. See, people get the other way around. Most people don't want to buy Bitcoin at 15K. They want to buy Bitcoin at 50K. People don't want to buy Ethereum at 800. They want to buy Ethereum at 1,800. And they do the same mistakes over and over again because they believe it. You see, when they say buy the dip, oh, the dip, great, this is really what I wanted, up to a certain point. If it goes too far from their comfort zone, instead of going down 60, goes down 90, all of a sudden, they are the ones selling the blood. So I like to buy when there's a lot of blood, when people who are very loyal to the system are starting to be aggravated and doubtful. I like to buy when the articles are coming out about how everything is a scam. I like to buy when there are documentaries saying that all of crypto is a scam. Guess who's been buying Bitcoin? JP Morgan. Jamie Dimon said crypto should be illegal and Bitcoin should be illegal, buying on the sidelines. See, this is what they do. They buy it on the sidelines. BlackRock has been buying Bitcoin heavily in 2022, before the spot ETF conversation, on the sidelines. When do people want to buy Bitcoin? When the spot ETF is approved. Not when it's on the depression, not when FTX is going bankrupt. They don't even realize that things like FTX going bankrupt is actually positive for Bitcoin. Because this is for the Bitcoin maxis. Why? Because it proves why Bitcoin and crypto in general is so important. Because you remove bad counterparty risk out of the way. You remove bad people who promise you stuff out of the way. So people should be heavily buying when those big centralized and third parties go bankrupt, but they sell it and then they regret it. It's really that simple. So be aware of these things, because I actually put my money where my mouth is. I believe in the Richard Hart ecosystem. I do believe in the products. I do believe they're excellent. I do believe they do very well. So I buy heavily in the depression, and I actually get happy when those things actually have big drawdowns. See, Pulsechain had an extra zero the last time we had a big drawdown, not this time. Hex went to something like less than, not 30 cents, a third of a penny, not this time. Pulse went to about 70% below day one SEC rate, not this time. So we seem to be putting a second bottom slightly higher, and I'm seeing the same levels of desperation that I've seen before, which to me it's very positive, you see. But I talk about these coins when they are down in the dirt, when they've been pushed down, when everybody calls it a scam. I could just be like the other influencers, just stay here, wait for things to go up, and say, you see, I've been talking about Chainlink for months now, right? I could have just waited for Chainlink to pump. Oh, did you see Chainlink? Did you see Chainlink? Oh, I bought it, you know? Or just look at, oh, you see that coin? No, Terra Luna is pumping. Oh, Terra Luna, so great. Yeah, I could have been doing this. But that is a disservice, in my opinion, that is being dishonest. And that's something that I'm not. And if my channel grows slower, so be it. It's a price that I would gladly pay. With that said, enjoy your weekend. Don't follow my example of heavy drinking. And I hope to see you tomorrow. And I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you very much, guys.